If every country is in debt, who holds all the debt? Imagine every country in the world is a big family. Each family has bills to pay, things to buy, and sometimes they don't have enough money, so they borrow. But what if I told you that all the families, the United States, the UK, Canada, Germany, France, and even smaller countries are all in debt? Then the big question is, if everyone owes money, who are they borrowing it from? That's the mystery we're going to solve today, in a fun and easy way that even kids can understand. What is debt? Debt is like borrowing your friend's toy with a promise to give it back later, plus maybe sharing your candy as thanks. For countries, debt means borrowing money, usually by writing something called a bond. A bond is like an IOU. Governments borrow to build schools, hospitals, or roads. For example, the UK might borrow to fix train stations, while Canada might borrow to improve healthcare. The United States and its IOUs. The US owes more than $35 trillion. That's such a big number it's hard to imagine. If you stacked $1 bills, it would reach the moon and back multiple times. Countries like China and Japan lend money to the US by buying those IOUs. But here's the twist. The US also lends money to others. It's like friends in a classroom borrowing and lending pencils back and forth. What about the UK? The United Kingdom owes about £2.7 trillion. That's like every single person in Britain owing more than £40,000. Much of this money is borrowed from pension funds, where people save for retirement, and banks. So, in a way, people in the UK are lending money to their own government without even realizing it. Canada's Maple Leaf debt. Canada owes over $1 trillion Canadian dollars. Who lends this money? Mostly Canadian banks, pension funds, and sometimes other countries. When the Canadian government borrows, it's often from its own people's savings accounts and retirement plans. So Canadian citizens are both taxpayers and lenders. Germany and France. Germany and France, two of Europe's strongest economies, also carry huge debts, over 2 trillion euros each. They borrow money to pay for schools, healthcare, and sometimes to support other European countries. Banks, investors, and even other countries buy their bonds. So yes, even rich countries are borrowers. Who holds the debt? This is where it gets interesting. Debt is like a giant spider web. The US borrows from China. China borrows from its own banks. Banks borrow from investors. Investors include pension funds in the US, UK, Germany, France, and Canada. So in the end, we're all lending and borrowing from each other. It's one giant circle. Winners and losers. Who wins from this game? The rich. Banks, corporations, and investors often make money from the interest on debt. Who loses? Ordinary people, because they pay through higher taxes and inflation. Inflation is like your allowance shrinking. You get the same amount of coins, but candy costs more. The hidden truth. So, who really holds the debt? The answer is we all do. When you save money in a bank, buy something from the store, or pay taxes, you're part of the system. Your parents' pensions, your teachers' salaries, even your school's electricity bill might be connected to government debt. Conclusion: debt isn't just numbers on a screen, it affects your life. It shapes how much your family pays for food, how much teachers get paid, and how safe your neighborhood is. Every country, from the US to the UK, Canada, Germany, and France, is part of the same system. The real answer to the mystery of debt is that it isn't owed to one person or country. It's shared by all of us, today and tomorrow. So next time you hear the word debt, remember, it's not just about governments and banks, it's about people, families, and even kids. Debt is tied to your rent, groceries, savings, and children's future. We're all inside the debt machine. This is Felix. If this opened your eyes, hit like, share, and subscribe.